All right, I'm hoping that it's not lagging this time. You never know, right? And sometimes it's StreamYard, sometimes it's YouTube. I guess we will see. I actually liked the direction it was going in. We had a lot of likes. We had a lot of people talking, a lot of different things that I would love to talk about too. It looks a lot better now, in my opinion. Okay, it's good now. So basically, what I had to do was restart everything. Hopefully, it stays this way. Because, the thing is, you put a lot of work into like making videos or streaming, and then it doesn't come out good. It's like that shit pisses you off. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Daniel Barry? How's it going, bro? I'll just thank you, Alex. You know what? For saying that, Alex, you will be one of the first guests for sure. I will remember to put you like one of the first. I just want to do a couple of podcasts by myself, but eventually I will get you there. We got 9 people watching, and like I said, this podcast is brought by the people, so the people can ask anything, and we will answer it, or I will try to talk about it, or anything like that. What is up, Goose? What's going on, Goose? How are you, bro? Actually, Goose, do you have time right now, or are you busy? Because if you have time, you could come on. If not, I understand. Hi, hello, Daniel Barry. What's the topic? The topic is whatever you want it to be, Go. That's the topic. You ask a question, that can be the topic. If you don't say anything, then I'll just ramble on about whatever I want to talk about, because there's a lot of things I could talk about, like the idea that movies are getting postponed and delayed, and it's really pissing me off. I got you, Goose. Goose, this will be something, eventually where, I hope you can come on this podcast. You're actually walking. Wow. Walking. I see. Yes, walking is a very important activity. How come Goose can't come on? Well, I was just wondering if he could. I mean, he can't, so he's not coming on, Alex. What was I saying? Totally lost my train of thought there. It's kind of hot in New York already, too. Like, it's like 70 degrees. I feel like it's very hot for right now. I know usually in May it does get to 75 or 80. I haven't put the AC up yet. That's the problem. Definitely got to put that up as soon as possible. I also think that, at night it gets really cold. So that's my one worry about putting the AC on too early, So yeah, the topic just goes however it wants. Like, I will just keep talking about stuff until someone asks something. If not, that's fine. So yeah, the fact that Top Gun got postponed, I really wanted to see that movie. It comes out in June. And I really wanted to see it. Goose's son is in the movie. Goose didn't make it in Top Gun. If you haven't seen it, well, here's a spoiler. Goose dies actually in Top Gun. And that's where I thought Goose got his name from, but apparently that is not how he got the name. Yeah, guys, hit the like on the podcast. Hit the subscribe if you're new. This is something that will happen probably twice a week. I'm trying to think. And what I want to do is make it a scheduled thing. So every maybe Tuesday and another day, I will pick probably Saturday or Friday, and at a certain time, and the time will probably be like 8 or 9 p.m. That's not that. I got to think of scheduling, and I got to think of stuff like that. The only movie you look forward to is Space Jam: A New Legacy. Now, that's an interesting movie. How do you think Space Jam is going to be with LeBron James instead of Michael Jordan? I just don't think it's going to be the same type of movie, So I guess we will see. We'll see how that works out. It's humid over there. It's humid over here. It is really humid here, surprisingly. Yeah, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We only got 7 people watching because I think the main people left earlier because, I was too busy making this podcast work because it wasn't working. Space Jam LeBron would be fire. Yeah, it could be. Go James obviously likes LeBron. I don't know why I asked him that. I didn't end it, Brandon. Was basically what happened was you see the podcast just freaking acted up on its own, which is bullshit, man. I wish the internet gets so good in the future that there's absolutely no lag on any streams or anything like that. What is up, Mile High, Brandon Rogers, Daniel Berry, Go James Sadwords, and everybody? Hit the like, Mysterio, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're new. WS Daniel Berry, the GOAT. What does WS mean? Sup, Sadwords. Does that mean what's up? No, Brandon Rogers, this is not a link thing. This is an individual StreamYard. Their links will not be shared on this podcast to anybody. Sorry for that, Brandon. This is the pilot episode. Eventually, there will be people allowed, and there will be only one person allowed at a time. But right now, it's only going to be like this. But if you do bring up a topic, Brandon, we can talk about it. So, just mention what you want to talk about, and we'll discuss. And how did you know this was a StreamYard? The Powered by StreamYard. Thank God that Powered by StreamYard is gone. You guys have no idea how much I hated that. Now I don't ever have to worry about that. Not that I paid all price. I just shared this with somebody else. So there you go. Gotta hack what? What do you have to hack, Bondi? Did you say sub, Bondi? 9 likes. Let's go, guys. Hit the like. Let's get it to 20 at least for now and higher. So yeah, my thing is probably going to do this twice a week. If I really, really want to, I'll probably do it 3 times a week. But for right now that there is no sports, it'll probably be 2 or 3 times a week. But when sports comes back, it will be a lot worse. Me and Rob we both paid for it, Sadwords, so that's why we're kind of sharing it. But that's not the main point. The main point is, hey, I got unlimited hours. Me and a friend paid for it, Goose. So that's why. Yes, I can see your comments, Colby. Sports, nobody hit you, nobody did anything. So yeah. I got to get rid of that StreamYard logo by buying it, Goose. We split the cost 50-50. Instead of paying $20, it's $10 a month. That's all. You're not blocked either, Colby. Who would block you? I'm really hungry right now because I haven't really had dinner. I had like a small dinner, nothing really that big. But yeah, I did. You blocked Colby? Is that what you're telling me? I don't know what you mean. $10 is not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. $10 for me. I make that pretty quickly, so I'm pretty happy with that. What's Q? Brandon, I don't get what you mean. I don't get what you mean is Q. And the thing is, the best thing about this, there's overlays and stuff that I haven't even used and all that. I didn't block you, Brandon. I didn't block you, Brandon Rogers. I can see every comment that you're saying. What are you talking about? You said you're blocked. No, you're not blocked. Order pizza? Yeah, I always love getting pizza. But I had pizza yesterday, so I don't know if I want it again. Goose, don't tell Amir what to do. He's not telling me I asked, what should I eat? And he said pizza. I mean, Brandon, give me a suggestion of what you think I should eat if it's not pizza. And, something not too heavy, I would say, because I kind of eat a little bit something. You know what I have? There's a lot of stuff that I probably haven't had in a while that I could get, probably. Yeah, like I told you, Eric, you will be unhidden on AK-41. I don't know who did that. I had Wendy's 2 days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Or was it yesterday? Alex did his stream. Was that yesterday? Yeah. Wendy's super sushi. Ramen. Ramen is so... I don't really like ramen. Chicken Parmesan's always good. Super sushi. I'm not a big soup person. Sushi's okay. I only like... First of all, you don't eat soup. You drink soup. And I only drink soup if I'm like sick afterwards. Get Wendy's again? Damn. Savages over here. Like, just get the same thing over and over. Okay, I mean, yeah, I can't ever complain with Wendy's, you know? And the funny thing is that Wendy's like won the vote somehow because it's like 2 people that said Wendy's. Everybody else said different things. I don't know. Mile High just agreed with Brandon, which is kind of funny. It's always funny to see how people on YouTube just like, you know, either agree or disagree with one another. Chicken parm is always good, Alex, but you got to make sure you get it from the right place. So you must drink. No, I don't. Not sick, but not well. I haven't been sick since January, so I don't. I hope I don't get sick, Brandon. I haven't been sick since January, and I think. See, this is the thing. A lot of people are going to call me crazy, but I think I had COVID in January because the stuff that I was feeling was what you would say is COVID related. No, I don't hate you, Colby. I just don't agree with what your political preferences are, but that is your right to like that person. And I'm not, and I really don't want to talk further than that. I just don't like that. Also, this is going to be a quick rant on Discord. You give people these roles and you trust them. And then they start hiding chats. They start kicking people. They take away your role. They put you down. Like, I gave you guys power and you guys abused it. So there's just going to be no roles. It's good that you can customize everything. Yeah, I will be able to customize a lot more on this channel too. There's overlays and other shit that I will use eventually. But for the first pilot, I'm just going to keep it simple. Goose, am I blocked on your channel? I never understood why Brandon wanted to be blocked on the channel. Don't get it. Because you want to be unblocked and I'm unblocked. And I get that, Colby. You were trolling. It's all good. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anybody right now. I'm just trying to focus on the podcast. You know, maybe I could give roles back, but limit the powers. Because there's some powers that I gave you guys powers to kick me out of the Discord, I think. Like, that's the crazy part of the powers that I gave in that channel, of that Discord, because that's how much I trusted certain people. I never wanted to be unblocked. Well, it felt that way, Brandon. If you don't want to be unblocked, you don't have to go there, you know, at the same time. It's all good, Colby. I mean, I might give it back to you, but if I give it back to you, I'm going to lower the stuff you could do. You could probably still kick people and stuff, but I'm going to make sure that you can't take away my role because I am the king, and don't you forget it, all right? Nah, that's just a joke. So, yeah, like... Why do people call Colby Colbert now? It used to be Anderson, and now it's Colbert. People always be changing Colby's name. I don't understand it. We got 12 people watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're new and you're watching this and you see this and you come across and you're like, should I? You should. Likes are not mandatory. Like I always say, likes are not mandatory, but they're always welcomed. So please hit the like. Hit the subscribe if you're new. You're not blocked. Yeah, Colby, you have to check your channel. He may be blocked. Apparently, AK was blocked on my channel as well. AK, is that your real name? No, it's not. That can't be. Eric is your real name, really? It's such... What was the name for the podcast again that you came up with, Sarah? It's the Precision Podcast. Not a bad name. It may be that next one. Know your role and shut your mouth, The Rock. Yeah, Mile High is like, he does not pay attention to Discord. You could literally talk shit behind Mile High's back on Discord if you wanted to, and he would never know because he never goes on it. That's a good quote. That's The Rock. Yep. Anything The Rock says is a good quote. I always felt that way. I know, Amir. It's annoying. What is annoying? how they change your name. I don't understand why they do it, and I would get why anybody would be annoyed about that. It's not Anderson, it's Alberson. It's not Colbert, it's Colby. It's just people switching the name. But you switched my name a few times too, Colby. So there you go. Amir Nest. What? Hell no. Colby says, do you like my logo? Yes, I do. It is a Broncos helmet. I mean, I think you've had that logo a bunch of times. And Brandon comes with the Anderson. I just don't get how you guys come up with these names. Like, I know Alberson is close to Anderson, but it's like not the same. Oh, he put the D. Oh no, he put the D in Rogers. Now Rogers is gonna rage because Rogers hates that. I like your logo, Colbert. Yeah. Yep. So also, like, there's this funny thing in New York, and I think in some other cities where they used to have, you can't drink in public. This was a rule for a long time in New York City where you can't drink in public. But now that COVID happened and people want to drink and they can't go to bars, people are walking outside. They're going to the bars and restaurants and they're getting drinks and they're walking around and they're drinking the drinks. This normally would be considered an offense. It would be, public drinking. But now they're saying, hey, guess what? This is okay because of COVID, Also, what's not okay because of COVID is my hair. My hair sucks right now because I need a haircut and they haven't opened a barber. And now I know people can cut my hair, but I'm very particular about how my hair is cut. I want it to be good because I don't want to come on here and it looks like even worse than this. This is pretty bad at the moment. You can't drink on the streets of New York. No, normally you can't, but right now they don't really care. So that is something that I really wanted to talk about in this podcast, and I was able to. And the thing is, I want to talk more about stuff that I observe on a day-to-day basis. But I'll tell you this, New York is dead and no one is really here right now. No one is really walking outside, And the people that are walking outside aren't even wearing masks. It's like they don't care. And some of them that do wear masks, the funny thing is, though, if you go to a restaurant, let's say you want food, right? Let's say you want Wendy's or something like that. You can't get it unless you have a mask. They will not serve you unless you have a mask. I mean, how much is a mask protecting people anyway? Barbers are closed in Ontario too. That's terrible. Rob needs a haircut. Yeah, I need a haircut bad too, Sadwards. This is probably the longest I've ever had my hair, I think, in my life. Because I got a haircut in March and then everything closed down. So I wasn't able to get it. So it's April, May, and we're almost in June. So that's almost 3 months without a haircut, which is insane. Brandon, I don't like Supercuts, but do you still have that coupon? Maybe I could go to it. Maybe it's the only one that's open. Barbers are closed. A mask does nothing. Trump don't wear a mask. That's one thing I don't understand. What? Trump actually takes medication so that he can't get COVID. Like, it prevents him from getting it. I don't know if you've heard about that, Colby. Should I mail you? Yeah, mail me the coupon, Brendan, That way, at least I'll save some money. Because you don't know how much barber, you don't know how much it's going to cost. Plus, another thing, does that coupon ever expire? Because if you're telling me that it is still good right now, that is pretty crazy in of itself. That's a sign COVID is fake. What is a sign? That the mask does nothing? I mean, the mask does limit it somewhat. Colby said, yes, sir, I saw. Yeah, exactly. You saw what's going on. We have 16 likes. This is going pretty well. There will be a part 2 to this pilot podcast, so this will become a series. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. If I was to pick a day besides Tuesday, which other day you think would be great for this podcast? For me, I'm thinking like a weekend, because then I can make the podcast 3 hours long and not worry about work the next day, or 2 hours. I don't want to make it too long, because then I'll probably run out of things to say. I have a lot to say, I got a lot of opinions, and I got a lot of the question is, does the medicine he takes work? Yes, it does. It stops you from getting it. But the one bad thing, Colby, is the side effects are crazy. The side effects of those drugs are terrible. They can cause a lot of damage. So that's the one thing. It works, but it hurts you. So how good is it to be taking that constantly? You know what I mean? You know, what I wonder also is the like when will the movie theaters open up? When will we be allowed to go watch movies? That's gonna take some time. I feel like, people talk about sports, and I agree, sports are great to watch together. But so are movies. When will we be able to watch movies? When will we be able to watch sports? When will we be able to go to restaurants everywhere in the U.S.? I mean, not just like okay, this state or that state. And what happened in Chicago was terrible because they were doing so well, and next thing you know, they have about 2,000 to 3,000 cases come out of nowhere. And that's just really scary and crazy because Chicago is a big city, just as not as big as New York, but one of the bigger cities, and they just got a spike recently. So does that mean that Chicago has to wait now? Apparently, Illinois is not doing as well as people thought, especially in the main place. And the thing is, people probably didn't even know they had COVID. They probably were walking around. Now, this is the thing. It's very hard to detect whether or not someone has COVID because they may not have the symptoms or anything like that. I heard the NBA will return July 22nd. I hope that happens. I hope it happens sooner than July 22nd. I hope July 1st, Eric. They should have everything ready. It's weird to call AK Eric, but that's his name right now. We're missing all the good movies. Yes, we are. They tasted the drug and reduced. Yeah, it does reduce COVID. It reduces the chance of you getting COVID, but it's not like you still can't get it. Trump's chances of getting COVID are very low because he takes that drug all the time. But I know Colby said he'll be fine, but there are side effects that could really hurt him at the same time. And we'll see what that is. Yeah. In Chicago, they have parties. Why were they having parties? Did they not you don't even have to stay at home or anything. Why are people having parties like that? That I don't understand at all. Wow, this stream has really slowed down. It was really up earlier. We had about I'm guessing people forgot that the stream came back because we had a lot of people earlier. We had 15. Now we have only 8 people watching. But I think on a weekend, this would be a great idea because a lot of people will be off from school or work or whatever. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are off school right now anyway because some people's schools end in May. So their schools are probably over. I'm pretty sure Colby schools are over. Saturday. Also, here's a really interesting thing. Me and Rob were talking about this yesterday. So in the 90s, school was very different. I just wonder if the kids nowadays would be able to hang with the kids in the 90s. Because kids in the 90s just called everybody gay and they were very ruthless and they didn't they made fun of the clothes you wear. If your clothes were too tight, they would call you gay and all that shit. But nowadays, tight clothes is the fashion. So can you imagine if you had to take a guy right now, put him back in the 90s, what would that be like? That's a very good question right there. And I wonder what people would have to say to that. Lots hate the governor in Illinois. I thought you said he was good, Colby. The movie critic is postponed due to COVID. Let's go with that. When I do get on this podcast, we have to talk about that shit. Yeah, I would really love to hear because, sad words, the difference between schools now and schools back then are very different. And only you can tell me because you're in school right now. And I can tell you how it was back then. So we can look at the similarities. We can look at the differences, because what I hear, what you tell me is completely different than what was going on when we were in school. I graduate school in June. Nice, Smile High. Do you even get a graduation? Do you even get a ceremony? Like, what happens? I mean, I hate going to graduation ceremonies anyway. This would be like a blessing for me if I was a person who's graduating. I'd be like, yes, I don't have to go to that stupid ceremony. Just give me my diploma and I'm out. It's still the same. No, I don't know, AK, about that. AK, how old are you again? Because when I went to high school and when I went to junior high school, when Sadward talks about it and when I talk about it, there's a lot of differences. And there's something to be said about that. And I can't wait to say that. Yeah, but it's not the same people, Eric. That's the thing. See, right now, wearing tight pants are cool. No one says anything. You wore tight pants in the 90s. You were considered gay. You were considered gay for a lot of things in the 90s that you were probably not considered gay for now, which is crazy. Who the hell is First Head Ass anyway? That's what I would like to know. I'm 16. What's the difference? That's a big difference. 16? You're just in high school now. When I was in high school, it was completely different. I remember, also, if you had long hair, people would call you gay. I don't know if they do that now. If people have long hair right now, do they just say stuff like that? It was just like now people are more accepting and stuff. And back then, none of the kids were. They were just so mean. And they would pick on them and they would fight them. They would fight all those kids that they thought were gay. If a guy even looked at another guy, I'd be like, why are you looking at me? That was another thing. Back in the 90s, I never got. You looked at a person for 2 seconds longer than you should have. And it was always a fight. And we didn't fight in the bathrooms. Like Sadwords tells me you guys fight in the bathrooms. We fought. People in high school fought in the hallways. That's where they fought. So that's a very big difference. The location of where you fight is completely different. And that definitely adds up. I can't imagine fighting in the bathroom in my school because it's completely different. People only make fun of the band kids. See, when we made fun of the band kids too. And then we found out later on that the band kids were the cool kids. They were getting the girls. But we didn't know that when we were in school. Those were the good old days. Yeah, Mile High, they were. But they were also very ruthless. I remember that. I remember a guy had an earring in one ear, but not the other. And I think he had it in his left ear. If you had it in your left ear, you were considered gay. But if you have it in your right ear, it was okay. Like you could only have one earring if you were a guy. Not like an earring, like a stud kind of thing, not like a full-on ring in your ear. That would just be completely different. The Precision Podcast. That's not a bad name. Maybe I might go with that. I'm gonna come down with some names on my own, but that's definitely a contender, Sadward. So I really do appreciate that. That's a pretty good name. If anybody else has any other names, I'll be willing to write that down as well. What is crazy, Sadwords? The thing is there's a lot of stuff that people, just because you're younger, there's a lot of stuff that us older people can learn from you. And there is, of course, a lot of stuff you can learn from us because we've been through it all. And what I mean by that is when we were younger, we didn't have the technology that a lot of the kids have nowadays. When we were younger, let me explain to you how it all happened. When we were younger, this is how stuff happened. In the 90s, the internet started, but nobody had computers. Nobody really had computers. Okay, so then people started getting computers in the 90s. Then and this is late 90s. This is I was born in 89. So in the early 90s, I don't really remember that much. Plus, we didn't have a computer. We got a computer 96, 97 because we had Windows 96, 97. So after 96, 97 Windows, we didn't have internet. It was just you play on the computer, these boring ass games, solitaire, whatever they had on the computer. Then in 98, 99, the internet came to most people, but you had to use dial-up. Now, if you don't know what dial-up is, this thing was so funny back in the day. It was literally a phone wire you connected into your computer, and that would give you internet. But then people had landlines, something also people don't have anymore. It's funny how crazy technology changed in the last 20, 30 years. So you would have a phone line. I graduated high school in 2007. So you would have a phone line, and in that phone line, it would go to your computer. And once it was plugged in, you couldn't get any calls, and no calls were going out. So that's the biggest thing, you know? So yeah. Yeah, that's what happened pretty much. So yeah, what I graduated high. Yeah, so that's after dial-up. I don't know what happened. You know. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. AC now. It's not that hot. It's not that hot right now. No. You're gonna put it now? Okay, you're gonna take it. Just give me like I'm doing something right now. No, that's so okay. Sub A, he said. Wow. Mile high, of course. So apparently people want the AC in their rooms. So after this stream, I'm going to have to do that as well. I don't think it's really that smart to put ACs because I don't think it's that hot right now. Okay, going back to what I was talking about, though. So you couldn't call. You couldn't talk on the phone. People had landlines back then. Nobody had the internet like that. It was dial-up, and it was very slow speeds. It wasn't like what you do right now. You would wait forever. You would go to a website, and it would be loading. It would buffer, and it would take so damn long, you know? So after that, that's when we got high-speed internet. And that's what you guys have now. But even back then, the high-speed internet wasn't as good as now. So that's like how the whole internet craze happened. It doesn't seem like many people are watching right now. So maybe I'll just end the podcast here. You know, we got 30 minutes of this one, 30 minutes of the other one. That's about an hour. So, yeah. Oh, wait, now people are coming in. What the hell? I remember when I was a little kid in pre-K, my parents had that phone that was connected to the wall. Yeah, that phone was your internet connection, Sadwords. That's what it was back in the day. Your phone was exactly what that phone connected to the wall. That was called a landline also. So like your phone, your parents would use that phone to call people. They didn't have cell phones. Also, we didn't have cell phones till like later on. Cell phones didn't really come popular until the 2000s. So in the 90s, everybody had landlines and everybody would talk on the phone. And then I remember the landlines, you couldn't even take them with you, but then they made them portable, you know? So stuff like that. Yeah, I think it is really like only 8 people are watching right now. This is pretty low. This was like in 2009, maybe 2010. Yeah, I mean, people had landlines for a while, and they made them portable because at one time they were stuck to the wall that you're talking about. But then after that, you could pull them out and portable and walk with them, but you still couldn't walk too far. You'd still have to be like in the house. They didn't work like cell phones. And I remember for cell phones, you know what was the annoying way of texting? You know, now you could have letters to text. We didn't have letters. We had numbers, and the numbers had letters on them. And you'd have to press the number 3 times to get one letter. Can you imagine that, Sadwords? To get like a C, you would have to keep tapping 2, 3 times. And then you'll get a C. And you'd have to type. I remember I was texting somebody, and it took me forever to write like a sentence. just to be like, hey, how are you? That would take me like 10 minutes because you have to keep typing, keep pressing on a number that it equals a letter. Every number had 3 letters. So I think 1 didn't really have anything. 2 had A, B, C. So 3 had D, E, F, and all this stuff. So yeah, I mean that's the interesting part right there. Yeah, I don't know what happened. This podcast really slowed down. That is a bad keyboard. Well, that's pretty much what it was. Was a really bad keyboard back in the day. It was a keyboard that would take you forever just to text a sentence. It would take that long. And the thing is, if you messed up, you had to go back and do it again. I remember using a touchscreen. Yeah, touchscreen was in 2008, 2009, and it wasn't even good. It wasn't even accurate back then. They've made them so damn accurate now. It's crazy. And we remember in the past, people were talking about touchscreens, and now nobody does because it's normal. When we were younger, everybody was like, I can't wait for things to be a touchscreen. Now touchscreens are everywhere. They have TV touchscreens. They have iPads that are touchscreens. They have tablets, phones. Everything is a touchscreen. A lot of computers nowadays are even touchscreens. A lot of laptops and things like that. When we were younger, they weren't that way. Computers were bulky when we were younger. Everything became smaller too. When we were younger, the TV used to be a huge box. It was like a huge box. That's what it was. Now, TVs are like thin as hell. They're so thin. But if you see like an old TV, and also, so now we have Netflix and stuff like that. Back in the day, if you wanted to watch a movie, you had to go into, what was the name of it? It wasn't Netflix. It started with the Blockbuster. It was called Blockbuster. You would have to go to Blockbuster. You would have to have this card. And then you would have to go and say, can I rent this movie? Can I rent this game? You could rent games too at Blockbuster. Most of the time it was used, they didn't have all the games, but you can go get like a movie or a show and you can go to Blockbuster and you can get it. But here's the catch. There were late fees. You only had a couple of days because other people wanted to watch it, Yeah, those box TVs were terrible, sad words. The quality on that was not good whatsoever. The quality was not good. I got a box TV. It got VHS. Yeah, it really did. And so that is something. Selling CDs on the street. CDs are not even a thing anymore. I remember when CDs were stuff. I remember my dad had a Blockbuster membership, and there was one near me. Yeah, but Blockbuster used to be huge. They used to be all around, I rented a bunch of movies from there. I hated the late fees. Yeah, there were always late fees. And this is how Netflix destroyed Blockbuster, by one simple thing. Netflix said, no late fees. Here you go. You want to get it? You got to send it back to us in the mail, but there's no late fees. Keep that movie as long as you want. Keep that show as long as you want. We have tons of CDs, but there's no late fees. But you have to return that before you give it to us. See, Netflix was digital and they had the thing. And they still have the other part, but nobody does that. Now Netflix, people only use the digital part. Nobody uses the part where, let me get the CD. Nobody does that, So that's the thing. So I really enjoyed this podcast. I know this is short, but I technically was live for half an hour on that one, an hour, 40 minutes here. I will go live again for this podcast, maybe as soon as tomorrow. And we may go with what Sad Word said as a precision podcast, because that's actually the best name. I didn't even think of that name, Sad Words. But nobody else has come up with anything else. I'm going to think of some other names, but if I can't come up with anything, that will probably be the new name. I probably will stream tomorrow again. for the podcast because I want this to become more of a thing, especially with no sports. There's not much else to talk about. We can't talk about sports like that all the time. Yeah, Hollywood Video was like the same thing as Blockbuster. It was like a competitor to Blockbuster. I remember them. And hopefully it's more successful and it doesn't lag like it did in the beginning of this time. So guys, this is the end of the podcast. Or right now we can say the Precision Podcast for now. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow. We should be doing another episode either tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, let's do one tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully that's a good time for you guys. Maybe I'll start at 8 p.m. Actually, I'll start probably at 8 p.m. Eastern or 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But I'm definitely going to do this again. This was so much fun. And we're going to talk more broad stuff next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And for the guys that were blocked, I will unblock your channels, Eric, and all that. I will go look into that as well. So hit the subscribe if you're new. Hit the like. And I'm out of here. Peace out. See you tomorrow, and see you around the bend. See you in the next live stream. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and see you in the next live stream /video. Peace out, everybody.